What's going on, you guys? It's your man James, aka JP, back again with another toy room review, and today we're taking a look at the orange JLS Mazda RX-7 from Too Fast, Too Furious. Well, kind of. See, this is kind of strange. So, typically with these cars, they have the name of the character that the car belongs to from the movie, and in the movie, this car belonged to Julius. However, they're calling this the orange JLS, which is short for Julius, Mazda RX-7. Now, this isn't entirely screen accurate. A lot of the vinyl work on here, the decals and everything, are not screen accurate, and we'll take a look at that, a closer look at that once we get this out of the packaging. But yeah, this isn't the exact one that was in Too Fast, Too Furious. But anyways, getting into the packaging here, it's the typical packaging that we see here with the Fast and the Furious cars. You have the metal diecast under that holographic sort of logo right there. You can see diecast right there. Then coming to the side, you get that open window that fully displays the front of the car. And then coming to the back, you can see some of the other vehicles. I think we've taken a look at a majority of these. I've reviewed the Eclipse, the Jetta, the RX-7, the Skyline, the F-150, the Supra, this Supra, the Evo, the Charger, and a whole bunch of others as well. I'll have a playlist at the end of the video if you guys want to check those out. And then coming here, you got the open window, and on the top you also have an open window. So that's it for the packaging. Let me go ahead and get this out of the packaging and take a closer detail look. Alright, you guys, and here is the RX-7 out of the packaging. Now, overall, it's a really beautiful car, and for the most part, like, they did their best to make it screen accurate, but I'm just not sure why they didn't make it screen accurate. I don't know if they had licensing issues or something, but later on in the video, I'm going to compare it to some of the other Too Fast, Too Furious cars, and you guys will see that those cars are pretty much screen accurate, one-of-one replica, where this is just, it's not. So, as you can see, the side decal right here, it says ORNG.JLS, and it's got a bunch of different numbers. Now, as far as the aesthetic and the design of it goes, this is how it looked in the movie, but in the movie, orange was actually spelled out all the way, Julius was actually spelled out all the way, and I'll have pictures side by side to kind of compare how it looked, so you can see how that looked right there. So just not quite 100% accurate to what they had. And then I really noticed it right here on the front as well. So you have the ORNG and then JLS, but in the movie, again, it was I think it was OR4NG or something like that, and then it had Julius spelled out. You guys can see what that looked like right there. So as you can see, it's just not 100%. And even with the decal here, so it's got the design going up the hood as it should, but in the movie, the design pretty much stayed more of this yellow color, whereas on this one, it's darker orange that goes up the hood. So that's just really interesting. But other than that, I mean, the car looks amazing. It's a nice looking RX-7. You can see the front right here. You got the very nice clear signals, turning signals are what those are, and the awesome looking body kit. And then you can actually lift the hood on this one. Now my hood, as you can see, kind of right there, it's got some paint chipping. It came out of the packaging like that, but if you kind of get your fingernail underneath here, or you just do this, there we go. So if you just give it a nice little slap, it'll eventually open up, and then you are going to reveal all of the insides right here. So you can see just nice chrome work. It's kind of hard with the hood blocking the lighting and everything, but you can see the nice chrome work in here. You got the intercooler, the intake, all of that right there looking very, very nice. So we'll go ahead and close that up right there. It would have been nice if the headlights were able to pop up. I tried prying them open, but they do not. They are fixed in this position. And then you do have some cutouts right here on the hood. Now the paint is actually very, very nice. So it's done in this orange, but it has the slightest just hit of metallic on it. You can kind of see as the light hits it. It's just a very slight hit of metallic paint on there. Looks very, very nice. So this is pretty much like a burnt orange. It's like, it's a really, really strong orange to the point where it's almost red, and it looks very nice. That's how it should look from the movie. And then you have the nice chrome rims. Now the rims were not as shiny or as chrome as they are here as they were in the movie. They were more subtle in the movie, but still looks very, very nice. And then coming to the side, like I mentioned before, with that graphic, there's the design and everything. It looks pretty identical to how it looked in the movie. And one thing I am very surprised by is the mirrors. So typically when Jada Toys does these cars, the mirrors are like a soft, gummy rubber plastic, but these are actually, they do feel a little bit softer, but you can see they're sturdy. They don't like bend and move all over the place. They're not flexible, so that's an improvement. And again, when I compare it to the other cars, you'll see what I'm talking about. But going ahead and opening the doors on this car, we'll open it on both sides. The windows are open, so there's no glass there or anything, or plastic I should say, but you can kind of see inside of the vehicle here, and it looks very, very nice. So you have the seats that match the color of the car, nice racing bucket seats right there. You can see your roll cage inside, and then on this side you can just see the steering wheel right there and the dashboard and everything in the rear view mirror. And then if you bring it over to this side, you can kind of just get a better view of everything. So you do have the chrome e-brake, chrome shifter, you even have the little TV touchscreen in there, which is awesome. And this interior looks 100% how an RX-7 interior should look like, so that is nice. I love the attention to detail. And like I said, there's a roll cage back there. So going ahead and closing the doors, this side is actually the exact same thing. As you can see, the numbers are slightly different on this side. So on this side you have 4, 5, 6, 7, 3, and a couple other numbers. The other side we had 0, 2, 2, 3. And then coming to the actual roof of the car, we'll move this up right here. You can just see some more of that paint job right there. And I also do have this scuff right here, which again came out of the box like that. So there's some QC issues on mine, but not that big of a deal. It's a very small little scuff right there. Coming to the rear of the car, we'll adjust the camera back down, and this looks very, very nice right here. So you have the blacked out tail lights, and I like it. It's very hard to tell on camera. It's not completely blacked out. It's smoked, it's tinted, and when the light hits it just right there, you can actually see through it. So I do like that translucent part right there. And then you have the Mazda, the RX-7 logos, and the little, come on, there we go, the little logos right there. Fast and the Furious. I love the dual exhaust setup on here. Nice chrome exhaust, and I love how you can see the workings of it underneath. That looks very, very nice. Looking very awesome. And then the trunk actually does open on this, so I'm going to go ahead and slap that open. It's much easier to do that than to try and like hurt your fingers by digging underneath there. But coming into the trunk, you can see the nice NOS tank and the subwoofers right there. And then on mine, it's not that big of a deal, but this piece is kind of loose. You can kind of see it like wobbles around. So it's not all that secure. It does kind of shift around and wobble. It doesn't feel like it's going to fall off or anything, but you do notice that while handling it that it is kind of loose. But you can also see the back of the seats and the roll cage in there looking very, very cool. And then you have the back with the window where you can see some of that NOS tank and the inner workings right there. And that is pretty much it. So overall, a really solid car. It looks great. The paint and everything looks awesome. I love the colors on here. The only issue that I have is that it's not 100% screen accurate. But segueing on from that, we're actually going to go ahead and compare these to the rest of the Too Fast, Too Furious cars from that opening scene. So let's go ahead and do that. Alright, you guys, and here are all 4 of the cars from the opening race. You have Suki's S2000, Slapjack's Toyota Supra, Julius's RX-7, and of course Brian's Skyline. So overall, I'm looking at a picture here, and I'll have that picture on the screen as well. This looks pretty good. All of them look exactly how they should. The Supra definitely sits as high as it did in the movie, and the RX-7 actually looks like it sits fairly lower than it does in the movie, and the Skyline and the S2000 actually look pretty good to how they did on screen. So yeah, all of these guys from the decals and everything, they all looked pretty screen accurate. The decals look like how they did in the movie. The car, the interior looked like it did in the movie. I don't know if because this actually had this character's name on it, they had to change that. Maybe that's what it was. But as far as everything else, like the Supra, which this was probably the least recognizable car in the whole movie to me, and I didn't even know this character had a name before actually purchasing this car. So this, to me, being the least recognizable car, it still looks 100% accurate to how it did in the movie. But again, I'm thinking maybe because Julius belongs to whatever studio made Fast and the Furious. I can't remember off the top of my head if it's Paramount or something like that, but it's probably not Paramount. But yeah, maybe because Julius belongs to like the actual company or whatever, they had to make that change. So maybe that's what it is. I'm not 100% sure on that. But other than that little issue of it not being 100% screen accurate, it fits in really well with all the other cars. I can't wait to have all of these guys on the shelf next to each other. And I don't remember the Skyline being, this tucked with the wheels. So maybe this isn't 100% screen accurate as well. But it still looks very, very nice. And I love the way all of these guys look. As you guys know, know, this was the opening scene from that movie. Yeah, just very, very cool. So Jada Toys just killing it as they always do. All of these guys look absolutely amazing, and that should recreate the image that you see on screen right there. So looking awesome. So shout out to Jada Toys. I absolutely love the Fast and the Furious line. Just to show off what I was talking about with the mirrors right here, so we'll take a look at the Supra. Get this guy out of the way. So the Supra, you can see the mirrors, soft, gummy, flexible, just, yeah. And then you try and do that with these on the RX-7, and you can see they're sturdy, and you can actually probably hear the difference. So let me tap the mirrors on here. I'm going to tap them like this to up to the microphone, so here you go. So I don't know if you guys could hear, there wasn't much noise from that. And then if you tap these are more of like a die-cast, not a die-cast, but more like a hard plastic. Even scratching it, here we go. We're going to scratch it right now. Okay, and now let's scratch the gummy ones again. So I don't know if you guys can even make it that out, but these are definitely rubber, and these are more of like a hard plastic, semi die-cast type of finish on this. So I do like this upgrade. I wish all the other cars came with this upgrade here with the just more solid, more sturdy mirrors right there. It's a little detail, but I personally like it. So there's my review of Julius's orange RX-7 from Too Fast, Too Furious. Overall, a really, really awesome car. The details on it are very nice. The paint job is very nice, other than the minor QC issues I had with the scuffs and everything like that. But overall, just a very solid looking car. And I believe this is the first RX-7 we've gotten in this scale. No, I'm sorry. We had Dom's RX-7 from the first movie, but still overall a really, really great looking car. And again, the only minor issue that I have is that it's not 100% screen accurate, but it's not the end of the world. It's just JLS instead of Julius and a couple different numbers. Again, not that big of a deal. So that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to follow me on Instagram. That link's in the description below. And also be sure to check out all of my other Fast and the Furious videos. There'll be a playlist on the screen for you to click on in any second. And I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. So as always, guys, stay tuned for more, and I'll see you guys next time.